Welcome to Let's Accelerate. My name is Sara and I'm here with Luisa, and we are both from Bosch Management Consulting. Today, our guest is Andrej Dering, the Platform Solution Manager for Industrify. Welcome, Andrej.
Thank you very much.
So, at Bosch, you set up a platform named Industrify, but can you tell us more about what does this really mean, this platform?
Sure. I can describe it just use cases and pain points, what we solve with Industrify. So Industrify is a marketplace where we match the in-house customer needs with the supplier offers and know-how. So what are the pain points in the moment? So if you need a service or you need a device and so on, for example, and you want to find out which department can produce it for you or bring the service for you, it's very difficult. For sure, we have a lot of possibilities to use BGN, Bosch Connect, but if you try it out, it will really a long time to catch the people who can help you. And what the people do is, they use Google search and search for external suppliers and generate cash out. On the other side, what we have in-house is a lot of great suppliers, departments who at the moment suffering for the order fluctuations, like at the PS business unit, for example. And they can offer you exactly this service and also in a faster time and cheaper that you can order it. So we match the in-house customer with the in-house supplier. And so the benefit for the whole Bosch company is, so you avoid cash out, you save cash, and for sure you use your capacities, what you have at the moment, also your free capacities, because the worst thing what we can do is to give cash out of Bosch and don't use our own capacities and know-how.
Exactly. And so when did you add this idea, and how much time did it take that you come to a commercialization phase for this platform?
So Industrify is a very young platform. So just from the idea to the first version of Industrify, it took 120 days, so 6 months. Wow. So I know your program with 100 days, where you find out, okay, what is the market? So we started with Industrify in 120 days with the first version. And only 1 year later, we have over 3,000 departments who are registered on Industrify, offer their services, but also place requests. And at the moment, we have a growth rate around about 10 to 20% per week. Wow. So we are now in the really great startup curve, what you know. And this is really great if you see how fast your baby are growing.
Yeah, that's really right. And Andrej, as we know, besides your work at Bosch, you also do innovation and startup topics in your private life. So as you now have the experience on both sides, can you tell us what are the main differences between the corporate innovation and innovation outside a company?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I really recommend, if you want to understand how it works, how to start up your idea, just do it and try it out. Also beyond of Bosch. Maybe it will be a nice criteria for leadership in the future. Yes. So because you learn very fast without any trainings and so on, how to create or how to build an idea and bring it to a startup with a very small budget and in a very fast time. What is the difference? And just to explain. So I started my second startup last weekend in only 1 day. So in 1 day, yes. So it's online, paper was integrated, and so on. And what you learn is, and what is the difference is also what I say, the corporate mud what exists in every big company. So with your own startup, you can very quick make decisions, can make some trials and so on. And the corporate mud, what I said, is it's made by a lot of heat from above, yes, and many tears from the bottom. And it's very important in a big company because it's stabilizing the organization. So if you are in the production phase of the innovation funnel, and so which also an intention when your cash cows are running now, yes. Mm-hmm. But it strongly slows the new ideas, decisions, and innovations because it's a longer decision time what you have to make. And to get through this, you have to do a lot of politics, yes, and which costs energy and time, but also make a lot of fun. But if you know how to deal with it, you can also be fast as an in-house startup if you know these topics and if you know, okay, how to handle it. So the next learning is so you can be more daring to try out something new. This is so because if you start with something, and this is also what I say with a new idea, you have to rethink it several times. You have to change it. You have to make deals, and you learn a lot about marketing. So the first thing what you learn in your own small startup, local startup, is if you don't do marketing in several channels and you're not visible, you will not start up, you will start down in a very short time. So this is one of the key points. And your solution don't have to be perfect when you start. So I know we are an engineer company, and so we are focused on 100% solutions. And this is important if you are in automotive and so on. And in the past, Bosch was more concentrated on incremental innovations, and this makes sense. So we need a very safe solution to go to the market. But if you want to create a really new idea, it's not it can't work. Sorry. Yeah. So and what you also have to do is to adopt your solution to the current market. So you can't go with 100%. You have to adopt what is happening at the moment. How the situation challenge you and how can you earn money with it? Yes. So also with the Corona crisis, for example. So you have to rethink, and you get several times and don't build up a roadmap for the next 10 years because it doesn't make sense. You need different org structures. So if we think to go back to the innovation funnel, so if you start with your idea, I call it also the pain, gain, fame framework. On the beginning, if you create a team, for example, you have to be agile. You have to make short and fast decisions. So to be flexible and to go to the market. So in the next phase, in the gain phase, what I say, okay, you have to create the solutions, and this is where it's will cost you some money. And in the last phase, what we have, this is a fame phase. So, okay, you proved your solution are working and you now can start the serial production. And there is what we know from Bosch, how it works. And here is, for example, the hierarchical structure, what we have, very efficient. And it's okay. So because you need a high standard level. So everyone told, okay, the startups are like small speedboats, and it's so fancy and it's so great. But in the serial production, it doesn't make sense because okay, you can have a speedboat, but you need also a big cruiser in the future because you can transport more of these kind of solutions to the customers. You need only a speedboat if you want to produce one and bring to the customer and prove, okay, it works.
Yeah.
And so you also need different organization forms and some have to transfer it.
Yeah, Andrej, I really understand what you're saying, and I appreciate that you're saying that, because I was also doing a startup inside Bosch for Africa, but I want to go back and challenge you a bit, because you were saying that very fast that you needed 120 days to start, and 1 day to start your own new project. I'm not sure if this was more now that you are so used to do this marketing and sales of your own ideas, or what was in fact the work behind it, and what were the main challenges you really had to accomplish these 120 days, because this is not only flowers, and I know it. And I would like to know what were the critical challenges for you, and what did you do to overcome them?
Yes, thank you for this question. So, the critical challenges, or the big ones, to become big enough in a short time. Also, if you want to make an in-house startup. So on Industrify, for example, we need a balanced growth of in-house customers on the one side and in-house suppliers. So because if you have too few customers who place requests, suppliers will be frustrated and don't use the platform anymore. And on the other side, if there are too few suppliers, customers will be frustrated because they have not enough offers, for example. So how we did it, we use the learnings from above. So that is what I said it before. If you have the experience how it works. So for example, we developed Industrify with a true user experience with users who have really the pains at the moment. So for a great example is CSP. So Mr. Ziffel is vice president of the sample shops. So he have a big pain. So we get a great support from him to develop the first version of Industrify that shows, okay, it works. We use several channels to make Industrify visible. What I also told you before, we made video challenges on Bosch Tube.
And there was a challenge to do this, so to do all this kind of marketing in such a short time, because I remember for me to do it in Kenya was quite a pain, because to go through the purchasing department to the communication department to get all the approvals, at least for my project, was very hard. And I'm wondering, what did you do to make it possible in such a short time?
We just do it and say sorry later. So just in one sentence.
It was okay. It was my approach as well.
So we try it out. Also, so several communication channels. I also mean we hold more than 500 times presentation about Industrify. So just till the last 12 months to several departments and so on. And what is also very important is also search for supporters and followers and make deals with contributors, but also with competitors. So if you start with your idea, you're not big enough, you have to make a deal with your competitors. So you can grow together, for example. And for sure, we got a great support from our PSBV. So, for example, Mr. Gagstad and Mr. Current and Mr. Cash, because they have the pain in the moment, and they really understood how big the potential can be of such a kind of marketplace like Industrify.
Can I ask a question? So, with which KPIs are you being measured at the moment?
So at the moment, it's how many suppliers, customers on Industrify. So this is, for example, also our grow KPIs. For sure, also the turnover. This is how we say, okay, every euro what we can make turnover with Industrify, we save cash out for the whole company, and we use your capacities. And we have a lot of another also for the community management, also how many clicks we had, also how many comments, how many times Industrify was mentioned on Bosch Connect, and so on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I find it when there is a new startup or internal corporation innovation, of course the KPIs or the metrics that matter should not be as standard as for the exploit world. So that's why I was asking. Thank you for your answers.
Yes, it's in the first time it's not the typical KPI is the return on invest in 12 months. So if you think to start up a platform, you have to think different. You need a time where the platform can grow, and the time when you go to the startup curve can be takes sometimes. You can speed up it with a lot of marketing. This is what we did, for example, to grow faster. But this time can be also longer. If you just think about Amazon, they took, I think, around about 6 years to get big enough. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Yes. So when we are looking at time, we are already coming to the end of our podcast, but we won't finish this podcast without our so-called sentence exercise. So we will ask you to complete 3 sentences with a short answer from you. You can add a comma if you want, but very short. So the first question or the first sentence will be, the most common mistake of an entrepreneur is?
To want to create a perfect solution from the beginning on and be invisible.
Yes, very cool. The next one. In 5 years, Industrify will?
I don't know in the moment what I said before, but if we are fast enough, one of the biggest fair marketplaces for services in the external market too.
Let's hope this. The next revolutionary innovation for Bosch will be?
Industrify with AI on the end and mobility solutions on demand, I think. Yeah.
Could be very interesting, that's right. Thank you, Andrej.
Thank you.
So with that, we are done for today with our podcast, Let's Accelerate with you, Andrej. We thank you a lot for your time and wish you all the best.
Okay,
thank
you.
Thank you.
Have a nice Industrify day.